This is part 2 to the vulnerability reading. That's right above this one. So, or right underneath this one. It's called vulnerability. Find it so you have the part 2 and part 1. Okay. So, real quick, welcome to the channel. All right. My name is Tell the Storyteller. Open the hearts and minds with the tales I tell you. Channeling through spirit so your soul remembers. So if you miss a line, I'm gonna bring you back to center. So, intuitively, spirit had me do a second reading to go alongside the first one. So I don't know what this is gonna say, but intuitively it's a deeper dive into what you need to be vulnerable about. Okay, so I just heard that. Ooh. Soul forgiveness in reverse. Ooh. One of the reasons why it's hard for you to be vulnerable about what you've been through or just your emotions in general, you have a lot of unforgiveness towards yourself for what has happened to you and what was done to you. Some of it wasn't even your fault, and even the stuff that was your fault, like you can still have forgiveness around that. I see why spirit has me doing this reading, because this unforgiveness is impacting your creativity. You've probably heard me talk about, or if you've been to this channel, maybe not, but a lot of people have heard me talk about how love and money have the same frequency, right? But also, our creativity is something that we love, right? And so when we love something and our heart is blocked, we can't access it. So if I love my creativity, but I have issues around love or showing up or even tapping in with love, or I have issues around intimacy, it's going to be hard for me to tap into my creativity, because my creativity brings a level of intimacy. And when I get too close to it, then I get nervous. It's kind of like, so one of the things when it comes to my, and I need to pray us in, I'm sorry. One of the things that it comes to when I'm a poet. So with my poetry, one of the things people always talk to me about is that I do a lot of trauma poems. Now, mind you, I'm a mental health practitioner, so I'm around trauma all day, every day. But it's also something I love to work through and process. And I know a lot about trauma because I've lived through it, but also like I've done a lot of research around trauma. And so a lot of my poems end up being about that, right? But people love my poems because a lot of people cannot tap into that trauma. It's very hard for them to tap into that trauma. And even when they think about writing a traumatic piece, if they get too deep into the piece, they might end up pulling back. And so with that pulling back piece, this is kind of showing up for you, because as you tap into, and it might not even be like just poetry, but it could be music, art, anything creative that you do and or you want to do. One of the reasons why you don't want to tap in with it is because it's going to make you have to be vulnerable. It's going to make you have to heal and or talk about the trauma that you like to hide from. Okay? But I know a lot, whoever is watching this, you are a poet, right? Or you do some type of poetry, whether you journal, whether people know about it, like you do it on the stage, or you do it just in your diary. And look, intuition. It's intuitively something that you want to do, or it is something that you're doing, but you also been being told that you need to tap into your vulnerability. And sorry, spirit is ooh, I see why you don't want to, because it puts you in a wounded healer energy. It makes you feel everything that you went through. And for some of y'all, what I heard when I seen that card, y'all scared of hating somebody or hating people. Like, I feel like to heal this means that there's a group of people, whether family, friends, lovers, so on and so forth, people around you that you're scared that you're going to hate once you start to tap into this. Now, granted, this is the thing. You do have to hold people accountable, right? You don't have to punish them, right? But for some of y'all scared that by diving into this, you're going to start asking people questions. You're going to start talking about things. You might start confronting things more. And you know certain relationships are not going to be able to get past that. You know certain people are not going to take their accountability. You know certain people are going to be like, why are you asking me these questions, right? Like, you know that certain relationships are not going to last if you start tapping into that. If you start being vulnerable. If you start actually sharing how you actually feel. you know certain people ain't gonna rock with that. That's what you're scared of. You're scared to lose them. But it's like, you are literally unhappy for the love of other people. You are literally in dis-ease. Disease, by the way? I got this from another poet. But dis-ease. You are constantly in dis-ease, which at some point, if it builds up in your body enough, it will become a disease. It will become a disease. Okay? Dis-ease becomes a disease. Amen? I got that from Baritone. But he's a poet. I like to cite my information. Also, ooh, bitch. Sorry. It just boom. This is one of the biggest reasons why Spirit wants me to do this. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm doing a chakra class on this Thursday. This Thursday, I'm doing a chakra class. You can get the tickets through teleworks.org under virtual classes. We're starting at the root chakra and we're making our way through the body. But we're going to spend each week talking about the chakra specifically. So this week we're talking specifically about the root chakra and how if you struggle with scarcity mindset, if you struggle with fear, if you struggle with issues around finances, if you struggle with trust versus mistrust, we're going to dive into all of those. I'm even going to tell you the foods that you need to eat, the yoga exercises, meditations. We're going to work through all of that, but we're going to go through each chakra, right? Shameless plug, you're on my page. Go ahead and, tap in. It's only $10. Only $10. You can afford not to do it, okay? And that's on a mirror. But with chakras, one of the things that you will learn, whether you're in my session or you just do this, about chakras in general, emotion can turn into a physical illness. Repressed emotion can turn into a physical illness. Having dis-ease in your heart area can turn into a physical disease. Having a broken heart can kill you. Having a overstimulated mind can cause headaches. Having pain in your hips causes back problems. Having too much stress and anxiety from worrying about whether or not you can make it through this month, if you're going to be able to stand on your own, can cause issues in your knees. Having no faith and not trusting your spiritual purpose can cause hair breakage and your hair falling out. If pain, emotions, and stress stay in your body, it can physically make you sick. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can be transferred or transformed. If you do not transfer it, so I'm not saying project it onto other people. I'm saying transfer it in terms of like you need to allow it to show through your aura, which is why you need to stop holding in your anger, right? You don't need to be just going around cussing people out, but I'm saying like allow yourself to feel your anger so that way you can transfer it out of you, not project it onto other people, but transfer it out of you and or transform it, right? That's where we use our creativity. You utilize coping skills and exercise and yoga and your poetry and your music to help to transform the emotions that you're feeling into a song. That's why songs be so powerful, because you be like, damn, I've been trying to get this emotion out my body all day, and then I heard this song and then boom, they put my emotions into a song. And your emotions, when they are transformed into a song, can help somebody else heal. It helps you heal and it helps somebody else heal, right? And so, and I'm even feeling like some pain in my heart chakra area. So this is heavy in your heart, right? Now you need to get all your chakras in alignment, but for some of y'all, it's definitely heart chakra related. So that buildup over time can cause real issues, okay? And Spirit is saying, I need you to release this, because if that energy is not transferred or transformed, that means it's still in you. That trauma from when you were 6, that you ain't healed through? When you was 13, when you was 17, when you was 19, when you was 23, when you was 27, when you was 31, when you was 32, and I don't know how old you are, I can keep going. That trauma from your mom that you haven't healed, still in you. That trauma from your dad that you haven't healed, from your first boyfriend, that's why people be like, oh, that person hurt me in 12th grade and I ain't never been the same. Because you haven't healed it. You kept it in your body. And if you keep repressed emotions in your body, it can kill you. Let me be very clear about that. It don't have to though. Right? You'll be surprised. You know, for me, I have fibroids. And so with my fibroids, it's in my sacral energy. Funny enough, I'm a very creative person. But for a very long time, I did not create. Even though I do things to help my fibroids physically, one of the biggest ways that I help my fibroids heal and lessen is to create. Because those fibroids are unprocessed emotion that I stifled out of fear, out of anxiety, out of worry. And then because I stifled it, I started to eat food that fed that emotion. I ate a lot of sweets. I ate a lot of unhealthy food. I ate a lot of fast food because I was trying to feed what was unrepressed in me, what I repressed. Okay? A lot of y'all heart's so heavy and you so scared to tap into your emotion because like I said, you feel like you're going to be angry at people, but also you are fearful of who you're going to be on the other side of this trauma. But I'm telling you, it's going to be the most beautiful of transformations. And we got this in the other reading, which is very interesting. We got the Hanged One and the Eight of Pentacles. Right? This is, I think, okay. This will be a pretty quick reading. You are being asked to allow Spirit to help you through this process. You're always trying to be in control of everything. But this is the thing. Emotions, no logic. Right? You already know that. You hate when people put logic around your emotions. Yeah, that's true, but this is how I feel. Right? So how dare you, when you're trying to feel, you're trying to give yourself all this logic. Yes, that's also true. Also, you get to feel how you felt about that situation. Right? It's kind of like, let's say your parent hurt you and they be like, well, I didn't mean to. You know, I was da-da-da-da. That's true. But I need you to hear how it made me feel, whether or not that was your intention. So that is also what your body is saying to you. I need you to allow me to feel upset about this, even if that wasn't their intention. Even if their intention was not to hurt me, it still hurt. And I get to feel my emotions. Oh my gosh, this is literally just 2.0. You got the Eight of Pentacles, again, and the Four of Cups. Okay? And funny enough, y'all, look at the goddamn colors. The chakras, baby, open up. Open up. Open up. Right? There's this one analogy that's been really helpful for me. Is think of yourself like a plant, right? And your inner being is the seed, but you're the soil, right? Water, which really is emotion, if it falls on hard soil, it can never get to the seed. It will never get to the seed and will never be able to help it to grow. But if you allow yourself to soften up, you allow yourself to be gentle and open and compassionate and vulnerable, that water can make its way to the seed. It can start to grow you up. But it only can do that if you're soft enough. Because for some of y'all, it really is your thoughts. Sorry, not sorry. Oof, look at that. You be putting knives in your own back. And it's because you got low self-esteem. Nine of Cups. You don't believe in yourself. But it's only because you give all your power and energy to everybody else. And then you keep all that emotion stuck in you. Stuck in your body. right? So please do some work around your chakras. Or please come to the class. I would love to have you. It starts this Thursday, January 8th at 5 p.m. Central Time. Me in the room, okay? Because we're trying to heal together. All right, so I'm going to leave y'all with this. I'm becoming everything I'm not. I'm not changing for anyone or anything. I'm celebrating pure authenticity, and I'm becoming everything I'm not. I said that last part backwards. I apologize. But and 13 is death and rebirth. You are unbecoming all of this. Embrace it. Okay? I love you real big. Real big. I even did 2 readings back to back. That's how bad I love you. Okay? And I need you to, if I love you that bad, and I may or may not know you, I need you to love yourself even more better than that. Okay? The baddest. Alright? I love you. See you later. Bye.